Hey everybody, you're watching Coinroll Hunter. I'm taking a few days off over the holidays, and what a better thing to do than coin roll hunt. I've got a box of dimes here. If we find a silver dime in here with the price of silver right now, which has just gone absolutely sky high, an 80% Canadian silver dime is worth over $5.90. Absolutely crazy. And I average a silver dime once a box or so. So the odds are pretty decent we might find something. Of course, the odds are pretty decent we might find nothing. But that's what coin roll hunting is all about. Let's get into this box. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, it's James and you're watching my channel, Coinroll Hunter. I got $250 in Canadian dimes here. These are mostly customer wrapped. It looks like we've got some machine wrapped rolls. I don't know if those are alloy recovery program where they take out all the nickel and the silver, or they could be from a car wash or something. Who knows? In any case, we got a bunch of different roller styles, probably from a bunch of different customers. I think the odds are good we could find something cool. You just never know with dimes. We're going to get started and see if we can find something. As I said in the intro, with the price of silver, an 80% silver dime is almost $6. That is just crazy. I remember when it was probably not even $2, and that doesn't seem like it was all that long ago. Let's get in here and see what we can find. So there is an edge check here. I always look at the edges of my coins before I put them down on the mat and start looking through them. We can see we've got some copper edge coins, basically probably 5 or 6 US. The most interesting one is this guy right here. It is very dark. Sometimes that can be tarnishing on a silver coin, but it doesn't look like a Canadian edge. In any case, we'll throw it down here and we'll just take a quick peek together and see. Well, it's very dark. But that is just going to be a 2012. I'll throw it under the scope just to be sure here. But that is an American coin, and it is not, if I can find it, going to be silver. No, 2012 Denver, just in really rough looking shape. So 5 more US in that roll. Nothing else of note there. That's pretty common. We're really close to the US border, and dimes, quarters, nickels, they pretty much circulate pretty freely. People spend them at face value as if they're Canadian, and they roll them up and they deposit them in the bank. So we usually find a lot. But for me, it's a good sign because it means that a coin roll hunter hasn't been in here and pulled out the American stuff. It's worth 40% more than a Canadian dime, but for the most part, it is really just face value. But if you can get a lot of it, and maybe if you're willing to go down to the States and travel and spend your change, it might be worth it. So that's a good sign anyway. Hopefully that persists, and it looks like we might have at least one more in this one too. Just laid down roll number 2. We got another American here. It's a 1967. We won't be able to know if that was minted in Philadelphia or in Denver because they didn't put mint marks on the coins in 1967. Interesting. But what I'm bringing you in for is that we've got a 1968. And if you didn't know, 1968 is a transition year in Canadian coinage. Some 1968s are made of 50% silver, and partway through the year they transition to nickel. The way we can tell the difference easily is to put a magnet to it. If it sticks, it's going to be nickel. So if we find a 1968 and want to test it with a magnet, we're hoping that it's not going to stick, because that will be a silver dime. Here is roll number 6, and I think what we've actually got here is a whole roll of brand new 2025s. I could probably just open the end and check, but I think these are actually straight from the mint. We got a few rolls here, and they all show bright, shiny coins with Charles. So maybe I'll open the end of this and just confirm and see. I already have 2025 dimes from a mint wrap roll for sale on my website. If you're looking for modern Canadian coinage, anything I get that's BU, I hold on to, and I've just added some of those to my website. But I'm going to check and see if this is as well. I probably don't need to keep it. I don't expect I'm going to sell a whole lot of 2025s, but somebody might be looking for a nice example. Let me open this up and I'll be right back. Well, I've torn it open and confirmed that's exactly what we've got. Just a whole bunch of gorgeous, brand new, straight from the mint 2025s. Like I said, I don't probably need to keep a whole roll of these. If you were looking for a brilliant, uncirculated, straight from a mint roll 2025, I have some on my website. I think I've also got 2021, all the different varieties except for the single date, 2022 and 2024. So if I find any other years other than 2025 that I don't already have, that would be cool. It would be worth me keeping. We're already in roll number 12, and the ender here is going to be another American. That's going to be our 11th American, so we're getting almost one per roll. That is just a 2003 out of Philadelphia. So roll number 15 and roll number 16 appear to be the same, 2025 uncirculated straight from the mint. Roll number 17, we're going to get a key date, a low mintage date. It's a 1970. If we look on my coinrollhunting mat, 10 cents, and go down to 1970, we can see it's minted at just 5,249,296 because they counted every single one. So that's a cool one. We will set that one aside on the board as our first veritable find aside from all of our Americans. We're already in roll number 23, and we are finally going to get a 2021 Blue Nose under sale. That is a gorgeous coin, also available in color as well. Sweet. We're in roll number 30, and I see a little hint of color there. This is going to be the 2021 Blue Nose under sale colorized dime. This is Canada's first and only circulating colorized dime, and I think it might be the first in the world, sort of at this denomination level, whatever the equivalents are. Beautiful coin. We now have the colorized and non-colorized version. There were 4 different dimes that came out in 2021. There's also a double dated commemorative, as well as the single dated classic design that was not released for circulation. That would be a really tough one to find. Roll number 33, and we're going to get a really nice looking one from the 90s. This is a pretty clean looking 1993. We don't often see them quite that nice. That is a beauty. I'm going to set that one aside. Look at that. I've got a 2007 under the scope here, and there's one I'm always on the lookout for. This is the standard 2007 here. It is known as the straight 7. This is the circulation 7. Basically, the bottom part of that 7 is a straight line. And there was a version that was put in some proof-like sets, the uncirculated sets, with a curved 7. You can see just a very slight curve there. I checked them all. This would be, well, you can see on eBay, this is selling for $25 just for that coin. This would be a great find. Not a rare coin necessarily. You can buy them, albeit for 25 cents in a mint condition. But this would be what I would consider a rare find coin roll hunting. It would be very unlikely that somebody's pulled it out of the set and then spent it and have it wind up in a roll. It's happened. People have found them. I've never found one. I would love to find one. It's one of those things that if you found it, you would treasure it more than it's actually worth. If I really, really wanted one, I could just buy one off of eBay for $25. I could actually buy the whole proof-like set for $30, right? But I'd rather find it coin roll hunting. That is what coin roll hunting is all about. It's the challenge of finding something that is very unlikely. I'm still in that same role, and here is another one. I'm always searching for a variety. This is the 1980. And there are 2 types of dates. There's a narrow date and a wide date. I've pulled up the Saskatoon Coin Club's article here because it shows exactly pictures of both of them, what you're looking for. So this is the narrow date and this is the wide date. The one I have here is the wide date. The narrow date were the earliest coins produced, and they were only in sets just like that 2007 curved 7. So another coin that I could probably buy if I wanted it, but I'd love to find it coin roll hunting. It would be a super rare find in the wild. This is roll number 38, just doing an edge check. We've got some Americans here for sure, and a few, or a couple, I guess, that look a little unusual. This one here just has a bit of an odd look, and this really dark one. When I find dark ones like that, sometimes it is tarnished silver, and sometimes it is just a really dirty, environmentally damaged coin. So you can get excited and then get, pretty deflated pretty quickly. So let's see what that really discolored one is. And it is, I think that's going to be silver. That looks like a 1965, 68, something. Well, first of all, let's get a better look because it is so discolored. Wow. And there it is. It is silver, 1965, 80% silver. That is incredible. Let's see if that sounds like silver. It sure does. Wow, I was thinking this box wasn't going to yield anything. It was been pretty light so far, but look at how discolored that is. It almost looks like it could have been a penny. But yeah, that is just really tarnished silver. Let's just take a look at that again. 1965, 80% silver dime. That is awesome. We're going to put that right up here on the board with our finds here. This box didn't let us down. It was looking dicey. We're getting towards the end, but that's just the way it goes. We may as well take a look at the other edge that I saw there. See what's going on there. And that is just a discolored 2012, so not silver, that's for sure. But wow, this box turned around real quick. Could we get even more silver? And I just plugged it into the silver coin calculator here, and the price of silver right now at the time of filming is hovering around at $99 Canadian an ounce. So for one 80% silver dime from the 60s, we're looking at $5 and essentially 93 cents. That's what one silver dime is worth today. So I paid 10 cents for it, and it's worth way more than that. Awesome. So if there's one holy grail dime we're looking for, it would be the 1969 large date. This is the same style they used in the 1968, but the 1969s, this is incredibly rare. What you're usually going to find is the small date. Well, check out this coin that I just picked up here. And it is completely obliterated. It's in terrible shape. But I can't make out that last digit. Is that an 8 or a 9? Is this potentially, well, a damaged, really rare coin? Well, there's one way that I could tell without having to do too much. One diagnostic test is that some of the 1968 coins were actually minted in Philadelphia. And the Philadelphia minted coins were using the US collars. The reading was different. The Canadian reading was a V reading, so basically a little notch, whereas the Philadelphia reading were the same collars they used on the US dimes, so they had a different profile, and this is the Philadelphia. I'll try to put an image up on the screen here that highlights the difference, but this is conclusively, without a doubt, a 1968 and not a really valuable, though damaged, 1969. Well, this is going to be one of the problems with steel coins. Check that out. It is just rusted and falling apart. It's bulging. It's in terrible shape. This is just going to disintegrate to nothing over time. Kind of like the value of our fiat currency, perhaps. Just towards the end of roll number 42, we've got another Blue Nose under sale. My favorite Canadian dime. It just looks like that water is moving. I love it. Roll 44, and we got a really nice looking 1980 beauty. I'm going to set that one aside for sure. A few rolls to go here. I thought I would just take a quick little break. In the event that we weren't going to find any silver in this box, I thought I might just show you something from my collection. So I had something ready, and then, well, we struck silver, and we still could find more. Who knows? But I thought I would just show something. Now, some of you might know that for many years, the Royal Canadian Mint had a $20 for $20 program. What that was silver coins with a face value of $20 that you could purchase for $20. It was a no-risk silver investment. And they didn't contain, of course, $20 worth of silver, at least not at that time. And I think you can see where I'm getting at here. But it was pretty risk-free. You could buy it, and it didn't matter if the price of silver went down. The face value of the coin was $20. So I have one example of this. I really thought I should have bought more at some point in time, but I never did. It really was a risk-free investment. But this is one that I have in my collection. You can see Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse there. It's kind of got a specimen type finish and a really shiny device there. You can see the bust of Queen Elizabeth, very shiny and reflective. This has a little bit of toning. I think just you can see there's some cracks in the capsule here. I'm going to flip it over because I think this might be one of the coolest coins I own. Check it out. that is the USS Enterprise. This is a 2016 50th anniversary of Star Trek 4/9 fine silver coin. That is just an awesome looking coin. And if you could buy that for $20 from the mint back in 2016, it was probably still a pretty decent deal because the face value on this coin is $20. So this coin is 7.96 grams, so it's quite a bit bigger than a quarter. It's 4/9 fine, so that is almost 8 grams of silver, 27 millimeters. That is really cool. But one of the really, really cool things about it with the way silver has gone is that it is now worth more than the $20 in its silver content. I've pulled it up here on Numista, and there you can see that coin. If I scroll down, we're going to see what the bullion value is at today's price, $25.15. Now, it shows here there are only 207,000 made, and in an uncirculated condition, it says $70. Well, this is uncirculated, and I don't know if you'd have to pay $70 for it. You can probably buy it for $20. And it just came in this little flip. You can see the paper here looks like it's a little oily from the glue or something. So, and it's got some residue on the case, but that's just how they came. They weren't really fancy packaging at the time. It was not all about the packaging. It was really just about getting a coin, a $20 coin for $20 that contained real pure silver. So that's it. My 2016 USS Enterprise Star Trek silver coin, 4/9 fine from the Royal Canadian Mint. That is a beauty. All right, now let's see if we can find some more silver in these last 3 rolls. Fingers crossed. This is roll number 50, the very last roll of this hunt. And I always check the edges for silver. I don't see silver here, but I see something really odd. I think we're going to find something in here that I have never found in a dime roll. I'll lay this down. You could see an edge there. And we got a mangled American penny in our dime roll. And how somebody stuffed it into there, I don't know. But they did. Never put it past somebody. And it is it just looks like a standard year. I'm going to throw it up on the screen here. It's a 1993. It's in pretty awful, terrible shape. We'll have to count it up and see if we're shorted 9 cents. That is a crazy find in a roll of dimes. We should have 50 dimes in here, so we'll find out really soon whether or not we got a bonus penny or if we got ripped off. Well, I was hoping it was going to be a visit from Santa Claus in the true spirit of Christmas, but this stack is short a dime, and it looks like the Grinch paid us a visit instead. We only got 49 dimes and a penny in that dime roll. What a way to end this hunt. So 50 rolls of dimes hunted, all rolled back up, ready to go back to the bank. Dimes can be hit or miss, but today it was a hit. We didn't get a lot of finds, but we struck silver, which is what we're looking to do. We found other things too. We got 35 US dimes. They're worth quite a bit more than Canadian dimes with today's exchange rate. But we got shorted. We got this US penny in here instead of a dime in one of those last rolls. But you never know what people are going to throw in a roll. So sometimes it's a penny, sometimes it's silver. Sometimes you get both, like we did today. We also got that low mint 1970. It's one of the ones you can see right here on my coin roll hunting mat. Minted at just over 5 million. We're still getting some of those 2021 Blue Nose under sale. We got 2 of the non-color and 1 of the colorized version. And a couple of other really nice ones, that 1980 and that 1993, way better than we normally find. But the star of the show today is going to be silver, albeit dark and tarnished, but it's a 1965, and that is 80% silver, and it is worth almost $6 in silver, which is really hard to believe, but that's where things are today. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and the fact that we found silver is great. at the holidays. Always a nice little Christmas bonus. I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, Coinroll Hunter, and you've watched this far, then I think you liked the video. You'll probably like the rest of my videos. So hit that button, like the video, and I really, really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for doing so. We'll see you again next time. The sponsors of today's video are Lighthouse Canada and the Charlton Press. Lighthouse Canada is the leading supplier of high-quality numismatic supplies in Canada, and the Charlton Press is the leading publisher of coin and paper money catalogs and price guides for Canadian collectors. Go check out their online stores today and use the exclusive discount code CRH20 for 20% off all your purchases.